I'm here standing by the cemetery, the Catholic Church's cemetery of Kalongo Parish. Kalongo Parish founded in 1934, but actually the real work here in this area started in 1956 by Father Alfredo Malandra of the Comboni missionaries. And one of the tasks the missionary gave himself was to work for the people here and serve them according to the gospel. First of all, go baptize them, make them Christians, live with them, live the gospel with them, and heal the sick, feed the hungry, visit the sick. So the program of these priests, Father Alfredo Malandra, actually needed support. And when he learned that in 1951, a young man by the name Ambrosoli, Joseph, joined his society and wanted to come to Africa, and moreover he was a medical doctor who had just graduated and even went to study tropical medicine in England. He asked his superiors, Father Malandra asked his superiors that this young priest be brought here to him. And that was Father Joseph Ambrosoli, who was very happy, from a very rich family, but he was exceptionally selfless. Many of us are selfless. Yes, we serve people, we help people, but that of Ambrosoli was exceptional and really saintly, never counting the costs of whatever he did to serve the poor, the needy, the sick. So Ambrosoli started working here in 1956 in a dispensary, and all the time looking after the sick people, all the time praying for himself to continue this work, to never give up. And he always did everything to be sure that he lived up to his aspiration, that is to serve people really like Christ did serve the people. He vowed obedience to his superiors, to listen to his superiors, because in his superiors, I think, he saw the will of God. He vowed poverty, never to seek anything for himself, be attached to wealth, to earthly riches. Then he vowed also chastity, which freed him to serve people all the time as priests. And with that he came to Uganda and started his work, building the hospital, looking after the lepers, looking also after orphans, and looking after people that were actually persecuted. This already came towards the end of his life. People persecuted. I recall one of the testimonies that we have got when we were investigating his life is that one day the rebels of Severino Lokoya, who called himself God the Father, came to the hospital, accused him of hiding, of giving refuge to some wives of the soldiers, former UNLA from the south. And he said, yes, I have them, I have their wives, and they are my children. You cannot kill them. In turn, when the rebels were defeated, the NRA rebels, who had just taken over Uganda and Kalongo in particular, came accusing Ambrosoli of looking after, of taking the rebels and giving them medical services. And doctor said, yes, I have them, but they are not fighters. They are wounded people. They are sick people. And these are, by my profession and my belief, these are people whose I vowed to protect their lives. So you cannot take them. To the surprise of the commanders of the military, Ambrosoli protected these people, setting really an example at that time in 1987, when actually people were just killing Acholi people, wanting other people to be killed. And soon after, within the same time, you remember what happened in Rwanda. So it could have happened here, but Ambrosoli did not allow it to happen here. That was heroic. Elsewhere, people were killed. Ambrosoli did not want that to happen. He also met people, Karimojong, that were wounded by the Acholi after the cattle raids. And he brought them to Kalongo Hospital, healed them, put them on the Land Rover, treated them. When they got healed, he drove them to Kotido. That's what this priest was doing here. And that's what has made him really honored now. Those were heroic things, and those are things that we can do today. That's what we are meant to do as humans towards one another by order of God's love. So here laid that important man in this cemetery, and he wanted, just like anybody, he wanted to be buried here. He could have gone back, his body could have been flown back to Italy, like most of our people fly bodies of their people back here, but he said, these are my people. I want to stay with them. And the church honored his wish and brought him here and laid him to rest there in the tomb. You see the tombstone there in red, and then the writing on top, Father Joseph Ambrosoli, Comboni Missionaries, that is the order he belonged to. The year he was born, 1923. The year he died, 1987, in Lira, and he was brought here. And then, really what he loved, what I would say, what stood like a guiding principle in his life, God is love. And I am his servant in the people who suffer, in the people who are persecuted, in the people who are sick, in the people who are abandoned. And this is what he has been doing in this place. I think Ambrosoli stands out as a model for us of care of one another today. We need to care for one another like Ambrosoli. God has given him to us. I think he's a gift really to us. We did not work for him, but God gave him to us. So gino poti matugu, ikwanyo, ichamo kijom ching. Ke bene tamo ni mieri kwan, luwari mo kaine wek gino bil, fire.